Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday night net of the Ozarks Amateur Radio Society. This net meets regularly on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. on the frequency of 146.97 with a PL tone of 162.2 hertz. My name is Zach W0ZAC. While this is not an emergency net, if anyone has emergency traffic, please call break. If there's any emergency traffic, please call now. Nothing heard. I will now move on to announcements of interest to amateur radio. We'll be using NetLogger for check-ins this evening, and anyone who wishes to check in early can do so by monitoring the OARS net there. The Ozarks Amateur Radio Society meets on the second Saturday of the month at the Happy House restaurant in Monette. The meeting is at 7 p.m., but everyone is welcome to come at 6 p.m. to eat and enjoy some good conversation. Individuals pay for their own meal, but you do not have to eat to attend. You also do not have to be a ham to attend. Everyone is welcome, including family members and those interested in amateur radio. The next meeting at the Happy House will be Saturday, June 10th. Saturday breakfast with the OARS Club for June will be at 7:30 a.m. at Angus Branch in Monette. More to follow. The OARS Club now has 3 regular nets. The D-Star net on Mondays at 8 p.m. on 444.150. The 2-meter net Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on 146.970. And the Simplex net now every Thursday at 8 p.m. on 146.460. And the new schedule for the Simplex net, that being every Thursday, begins on June 1st. So we'll have another one this coming Thursday. Saturday and Sunday, June 24th and 25th, the club will be meeting at Campbell Point near Shell Knob for field day and a POTA activation. Some of us will be camping in the campground, and Wes has reserved an extra campsite to set up some shade canopies for radio operations. Everyone is welcome, but we are limited on parking, so Marvin has volunteered to run a shuttle service from the main parking area down to the campsites / station setup. We'll be operating under the special event call W0R. And lastly, this net is now being streamed on the 5-9 Radio YouTube channel, so if you want to see how you sound on the air, or if you missed part of the net, you can go to 59radio.com for details and a link to the channel. Are there any other announcements of interest to amateur radio? Please call now. Okay, nothing heard. I'll now begin by taking check-ins, and we'll start with short-time, low-power, or mobile stations. This is Whiskey 0, Zulu Alpha Charlie. Any short-time, low-power, or mobile stations, please come with your call sign, the regular way and phonetically, along with your location. Whiskey 0, Zulu Alpha Charlie. Please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Zulu X-Ray Lima, Miles in Marionville.
All right, we got one there. We'll start with KE0, Zulu X-Ray Lima. Go ahead, Miles.
Kilo Echo 0, Zulu X-Ray Lima. I don't have anything to report. I'm just reading the stuff on Fox here on my tablet, Fox News there, and so y'all have a nice evening, and I'm going to let y'all go.
Very well, Miles. We appreciate you checking in, and I hope to hear from you again soon. We'll now jump up to the top of the NetLogger list, where we have our first NetLogger check-in, KE0MAD. Sean, good evening.
Good evening, Zach, and everybody on the net. This is KE0MAD. Thanks for mentioning the Simplex Net is every Thursday, so every Thursday from here on out, of course, weather permitting. We got a bunch of lightning in the sky. I'll have everything disconnected, so but I'll try and make that announcement on the repeater if that ever happens. But look forward to doing it every Thursday. Maybe we can, people won't have to worry about trying to remember which Thursday it is. And another thing too, I'm going to where we do the signal reports. We're going to stop doing the signal reports unless somebody has a change. Like if you happen to make a change to your antenna system and you want to know, if you're doing better, then, just mention it. But I think since we're going to be doing it every week, we don't really need to do the signal report because we're going to be the same bunch of people talking to the same bunch of people. Unless we actually make a change, there's no need. I don't feel there's a need to have to constantly give signal reports. Like I said, unless we make a change. Anyway, back to you, Zach. This is KE0MAD.
Alrighty, Sean, thank you for that, and I would agree. That sounds like a reasonable change to the net structure there. Thanks for checking in tonight, Sean. We'll say 7-3, and jump down to our next NetLogger check-in. AE0OC, Wes, good evening, and how are you?
Well, hello, Zach, and everybody on the net. I'm glad you're doing the net tonight, Zach. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I agree with Sean completely. It sounds like a very good thing. I'm very happy with the changes he's making to the Simplex net. That'll be great. Still been working on the bus here. I'm trying to get that thing ready. I really want to take that down camping with us. So I make some progress, but it's still got a long ways to go. So I hope that I can get it all figured out. But anyway, I don't really have anything else for the net other than looking forward to the meeting Saturday night and see you all there. And so AE0OC, back to you, Zach.
Very good, Wes. Thanks for checking in. I'm looking forward to seeing the bus. I've heard some talk about it. Don't have all the details, but looking forward to seeing it get done. Send some pictures when you've got them. Thanks for checking in, Wes. We'll say 7-3 and jump down to our next NetLogger check-in, KB0RHA. Rich, good evening, and how are you?
Oh, Zach, doing pretty good out here. I was able to order me a new radio yesterday, so hopefully it'll be in sometime this week. I'll be able to get that hooked up. Got me a new ICOM 9700, so I'll be able to do the other check-ins on the UHF. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, that's about all I got for the net. 7-3s, everybody. Back to net control. KB0RHA.
Alrighty, Rich. Thanks for checking in, and congratulations on the new rig. I'm sure you'll have a good time with that. That's a good one for sure. Thanks again, Rich, for being here tonight. We'll say 7-3 and jump down to our next NetLogger check-in. N0MLP. Marvin, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Zach, and everyone else on the net. I hope everybody's having a good evening. We're doing pretty good here. Run up for a doctor's appointment earlier today, and that's about it. Did get my Wolf River coil antenna in today, so have that to set up and play with, and hopefully be able to tune to a more resonant frequency there, and maybe be able to skip some of that interference going on when we're got multiple radios at our events or whatnot. So anyway, looking forward to playing with it. Looks like a fun antenna. So other than that, Saturday night I was in the ER, so I don't know, I've been dealing with panic attacks, and I guess I had a pretty bad one, and had me thinking something was up with my heart, but it turns out my heart's fine, so we're thankful for that. But figure out these panic attacks, maybe it'll be a lot better. But anyway, other than that, I'm good, and looking forward to our event coming up and the meeting Saturday night. So I hope everybody else having a good evening and have a good rest of the week. And we'll send it back to you, Zach. And we'll say 73.
Alrighty, Marvin. Well, I'm glad they determined your heart was okay. That's scary business. On the Wolf River coil, be interested to know how that works out for you. Seen those all over the place. Seem to be a pretty popular antenna these days. Debated on buying one myself, but never pulled the trigger. Have you looked into bandpass filters? Building a couple of those to put in line when you got multiple stations operating in close proximity. I've got a set of plans for bandpass filters and actually built a couple with another friend of mine locally. Seem to work pretty good. If you're interested, I can get you those plans.
Roger. I had been meaning to look up some plans for those. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind shooting me an email, I'll see if I can't maybe put a couple of them together. I think that'd be pretty beneficial to have out at these events we have, and just see how good they'll help. So yeah, that'd be great.
You betcha. I built one. I built a 40 meter. It worked. And I've got the parts for a 20 that I just hadn't finished. But my plan was to build one for every band and just have them here in the shack for when I needed them. I will send those over to you and maybe some pictures of the one I got together. Marvin, thanks for checking in. We'll say 7-3 and jump down to our next netlogger check-in, KA0SPM. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Zach. Good to hear you running the net. Thanks for doing that. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody Saturday at Field Day. It'll be a short visit with the wife. We're doing a multiple event stop, so I hope that we get to see a whole bunch of people.
Sounds like you got a big day. How many stops are you making?
We're going to do 4, maybe 5, but Tri Lakes, you guys, Joplin, and Pittsburgh, Kansas.
It's going to be a busy day, Steve. You will be doing more driving than radio operating.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the chauffeuring. She's doing Skyward meetup. So it'll be good for that, and a little push for inter-club activities for the Ozarks. So we'll see how that goes. But mostly Skyward, and it'll be fun. It'll be a great day.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing you. Hope that trip goes smoothly. Well, Steve, thanks for checking in tonight. Good to hear from you, as always. We'll say 7-3 and jump down to our next netlogger check-in, K0SQS. Good evening, Harold. How are you?
W0ZAC and the rest of the net, K0SQS. Doing just fine, Zach. Thank you for running the net. Kind of an interesting phenomenon. The sky was partially obscured, especially this afternoon, and KY3 weather at 5 said it was due to the wildfire smoke from Canada coming down, circulating around the high pressure that's up to the north and a little bit east of us. Anyway, you wouldn't think that the phenomenon going on in Canada would affect our weather, but it is. Anyway, got to play golf this afternoon. Enjoyed the day. A little fresh air and sunshine before I get back to mowing my grass. Still growing. Back to you, Zach, K0SQS.
Alrighty, Harold, thanks for checking in tonight. You know, I did notice that sort of hazy sky and didn't think much of it, so thank you for the update. That's quite interesting. And I hope we get as much rain as possible to keep this grass growing, because I bought a new lawnmower a couple of weeks ago, and I need to get my money's worth out of it. So the more mowing, the better for me. It's maybe maybe just this year. I'm sure the new will wear off this mower soon enough, and I'll appreciate not mowing once again. But anywho, thanks for checking in, Harold. We'll say 7-3 and jump down to our next NetLogger check-in, KE6GAE. Dave, good evening, sir.
W0ZAC and the rest of the net. This is KE6GAE. Well, I can't talk tonight. Yeah, you're talking about mowing lawns. I was just out doing that tonight. Yes, need rain, very much so. A month and a half ago, I was saying to turn it off because my yard was a swamp. Now my yard's a desert. So yeah, definitely need rain. That's all I've got tonight. Thanks for running that, Zach. I'll pass it back to net control. KE6GAE, back to net control.
Well, very good, Dave. Thanks for checking in tonight. And yeah, my yard was doing pretty good right up till this week. It seems to be drying up a bit, but that's okay. As much as I'd like to mow, I don't have to. But I got a real good mower for whenever I need to, that's for sure. We'll say 7-3, Dave. Thanks for checking in, and that brings us to the bottom of our NetLogger list. So we'll open it up for more over-the-air check-ins. If there are any over-the-air check-ins for the OARS net, please come with your call sign, both phonetically and the regular way, along with your name and location. This is W0ZAC.
This is Whiskey Echo Zero Victor WE0V, Elaine in Northeast Joplin.
Recheck T0SQS.
Alrighty, I'll acknowledge that recheck in 1 second. Let's jump up to Elaine, WE0V. Good evening, Elaine.
Good evening. About all I got to add to my day is, since Saturday I've been trying to put my swimming pool up that I ain't had in 3 years. I moved in 2020, and then in 21 I moved back, and due to surgeries for the last 2 summers, I haven't had it up, and parts got lost and having to wait. It's just a mess, but that's what's been taking up my time since Saturday, and I hope everybody's staying pretty cool in this hot weather, and just wanted to check in for the count, and I'll turn it back to you, Zach. Thanks for doing the net. This is WE0V.
Well, thank you for checking in tonight, Elaine. Yes, it is swimming pool weather for sure. My daughter, who's 13, has been at the pool, not quite, but almost every day since they've opened. So she came home with quite a sunburn those first couple of days, but she's broke in now and enjoying the pool weather. Hope you get that sorted out and come up with all the missing parts. Thanks for checking in. And we'll say 7-3 and jump back up to Harold with a recheck, K0SQS. Go ahead, Harold.
Zach, I just wanted to get my request in first. If you are looking for some place you can run your lawnmower, I'd be more than welcome to donate my yard. Thanks for letting me back in, K0SQS.
A most generous offer there, Harold. I will sure keep that in mind. If I get bored on a Saturday, maybe I'll just head down your way.
All right, Zach.
All right, thanks, Harold. Let's open it up again for more over-the-air check-ins. Over-the-air check-ins for the OARS net, please call now.
KB0OU, Kilowatt Bravo 0, Oscar Uniform.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Lima Kilo India, Kyle.
Hold it up right there. Kyle, could you come back with the call sign one more time?
KF0 LKI, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Lima Kilo India.
Got it. Okay, let's jump up to, excuse me, the top of that list, KB0OU. John, how are you this evening?
Yeah, W0ZAC. This is KB0OU here at Exeter, Missouri, just north of Exeter. I've got 80 degrees outside. It's been fairly warm today. And got my bicycle finished. It's running good. I can even climb hills with it. I geared it down some. And, that's about it for now. Just wanted to say howdy. KB0U.
Alrighty, John. Well, thanks for checking in. Got a good signal coming in from Exeter this evening. Nice and clear. Thanks for being here. Glad you got the bike going. That sounds cool. We'll say 7-3 for now and jump down to KF0LKI. Kyle, how are you this evening?
I'm pretty well. I'm at work right now on break. I've got a few minutes before I got to go back inside. I just wanted to say hi and seen some of you guys at the Smart Chem Fest last Saturday, so it was good to see some of you guys. I was working the Aries group table. I got a chance to walk around a little bit. It was good.
Well, there's the mark of a true ham, I think, getting some radio time in on his break at work. I do the same. I keep an HT in my bag right next to my desk, and if I get some downtime, well, I got something to play with. Kyle, thanks for checking in tonight. Good to hear from you, and hopefully we hear from you again soon. That brings us back to the bottom of the list. We'll say 7-3 to Kyle and ask for any new check-ins, over-the-air check-ins for the OARS 2-meter net. Please come with your call now, W0ZAC.
KF0LZX, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Lima Zulu X-ray, Greg Adam on net.
This is November 0, Oscar Charlie Whiskey, N0 OCW, Richard in Springfield.
Alrighty, we got two more. We'll start with KF0LZX. Greg, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Zach. Hey, thanks for hosting the net. I had just walked in a few minutes ago from the grandkids' ball game and actually came home with some grandkids, so I had just a couple of minutes to slip in here real quick, so not much else to say. Normal work day, and got to go watch grandson play ball, so that's all I've got. So 73s, and back to you.
Very good, Greg. Glad you had some time to slide in and say hello. Yes, it is ball season, so my boy and Zach W0ZAC's boy are on the same T-ball team this year. Zach W0 is coach, and then somehow Zach 2 became assistant coach. So now we have conjoined our efforts to coach some 5- and 6-year-olds for T-ball. So that's kind of like herding cats, but it's been fun.
Yeah, well, it's great that you guys get a chance to do some coaching. My grandson's 8 years old, so we've been to Friday night we went, tonight we went. He's done really good so far. He's made it on base every time, but it's fun to watch those kids, that's for sure, especially when you get to bring one or two of them home with you.
Absolutely. They have a good time out there. We had Gavin, my son, he's 5. He had a super good hit. I think it was the first pitch of the first game. He just creamed it. I was quite surprised with him. So he had a good time, and I think the other kids did too. I think they have 8 games, and we're 2 down, so 6 to go. Well, Greg, we'll say 7-3. Glad you could swing by and say hello this evening. We'll jump down to our next over-the-air check-in, N0 OCW. Rich, good evening.
Good evening to everyone on the net. Not a lot going on in the big city of Springfield. Just wanted to make sure I got in for the count.
Well, you're in there and sounding good. Signal over from Springfield is good and strong tonight. Sounds great. Anything else for the net there, Richard?
No, that is it for tonight. I'll turn it back over to net control in 0 OCW.
Alrighty, well, thank you for checking in. That puts us back at the bottom of the list, and we'll ask again, are there any over-the-air check-ins for the OARS net? Please call now.
A 0 RWD, Kilo 0 Romeo Whiskey Delta.
Okay, we picked up one more, K0 RWD. Good evening, Ron. How are you?
A little on the tired side. I had some mowing around here, and that took a little longer than I thought. And then I had to, it was something that I shouldn't have done. I had a bolt, and then it was a soft one, and then I had to get a good hard bolt to put on the mower, but I did make it inside for the net tonight, and I sure hope we get some water.
Yep, we could use some up here as well. And speaking of hard bolts and soft bolts, I bought a vise, a bench vise from, guess where, Harbor Freight. Worked great until I went to really cranking down on something. And the bolt that holds the, I don't know what you call it, the bolt that holds the thing that the threaded rod turns in, right? Stripped that bolt plumb out, bent it in half like the letter L. Couldn't believe it. The one thing on there that needs to be super strong had the softest bolt in it I'd ever seen. So, trip to the hardware store and a grade 8 bolt, put that back together. Seems to be working now.
I'm kind of lucky. I had an uncle that was a real good car mechanic, and I got his bench and got his vise, and I'll tell you, I think that is the main thing that you need.
Would agree. A quality bench vise is kind of one of those staple items you need to have around. I don't know how I went so long without one, but I got one now. Whether it's cheap or not, it does the trick. Well, Ron, thanks for checking in tonight. Good to hear from you. We'll say 7-3 and open it up again for any more over-the-air check-ins. Please call now. Okay, last call for check-ins for the OARS 2-meter Tuesday night net. This is W0ZAC. Any check-ins, please come with your call.
Net control, this is W0GOD, Peter in Lowell, Arkansas.
Alrighty, there's a voice I haven't heard for a while. Peter, W0GOD, you're sounding good tonight. How are you, sir?
I'm well, Zach. Thank you for asking. Yeah, we've got a little bit of propagation going on, so I thought I'd give her a try. I hope you're well, and I want to wish everyone on the net a 7-3.
Well, thank you for checking in tonight, Peter. Yep, we're all doing good here. Business as usual. Kids are out of school, so it's summer playtime for them. I came home from work this evening, and we had 6 children in the backyard. Well, I shouldn't say the backyard. The backyard, the trampoline, the back porch, the kitchen, they were everywhere. It was like a bunch of gnats floating around here.
Copy that, Zach. That's a happy infestation.
It is. Somehow or another, our place has turned into the neighborhood hangout for all of the neighborhood children. So, anywho, they have fun. Peter, thanks for checking in tonight. Good to hear from you, brother. We'll say 7-3 and open it up one more time. Any more over-the-air check-ins for the OARS net, please call now. Alrighty, nothing heard, so we will call that the end of the net. Tonight, we had a total of 16 check-ins, including myself. Thanks to all stations who checked in. We look forward to hearing from everybody again next Tuesday at 7, or this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. on the Simplex net. I will now close the net and return this repeater to regular amateur radio use. 73 W0ZAC.